Hay gente muy atenta a ti. Tu trabajo es la piedra angular de toda la seguridad digital. Bancos, sistemas de defensa, registros gubernamentales. Serías un peligro potencial, un arma. Quiero ayudarte.
No te necesito.
Ya lo creo.
I'd never done a role like Ed, so it was, for me, it felt like a bit of transformation was required. And I was never gonna shy away or try and prevent any moments where my body was naturally being a bit closed off, because that's who he is. And being focused on kind of one thing. And I think along the way, there's just little kind of things that pop up, like this thing I ended up doing a lot in the show, where something's, where he can't quite figure it out, or something's a little stressful, or there's a lot on his mind. Which actually I've now started to do in my own life.
As kind of like an emotional anchor for you?
Yeah, kind of. Just, yeah, I naturally took it on.
For me, it was like I love like the, when thinking about character development, having music. Because usually if I'm starting to kind of figure out what the character is and how she moves, and what she listens to, for me, kind of dictates how she moves through the world. And if I were to hear certain songs, it would like instantly pull me back to a place and kind of the baseline for the character. So music for me was really important.
I guess, I mean, I don't know if this answers your question, but learning, what Ed is trying to do is find this pattern in prime numbers and learning, for me personally, that meant when he finds that pattern, he finds this key that could unlock any digital code, and the reality of that is that any digital code, any good one at least, is the longest series of prime numbers you can imagine, like the size of a book. And that's why it's impossible to figure out, which is why it's so impressive what he does. I don't know if that answers your question, but...
And I also feel like too, like you don't need to, in order to watch the show, you don't need to understand like all of the math. So it's a really interesting like assortment of like themes in one place. And somehow he makes it fun to watch and interesting. 100%. I think for me, I completely understand where Taylor comes from, because I have this like personal understanding of, oh, my choices today can affect not only the longevity of myself, but they can also directly impact the mood, the feeling, and the sensibility of others. And I think something that Taylor tries to really hound into Ed is like, you don't understand, like you're doing this for yourself because you have a love of the game, but like your love of the game is gonna cost like global, unrest. And I think he's just so hyper-focused, but I have to do it because this is my life's work. And I just ask, like, at the expense of what? And I think that's what this the show asks. And so for that to be kind of like the conversation that the show poses, I think is really important and not something that always happens, It asks an audience to look at this objectively. Like, what would you do? And how do you hold yourself accountable at the end of the day? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kinda.
¿Quién eres?
Hay gente muy atenta a ti. Tu trabajo es la piedra angular de toda la seguridad digital. Bancos, sistemas de defensa, registros gubernamentales. Serías un peligro potencial, un arma. Quiero ayudarte.
No te necesito.
Ya lo creo.